All right, welcome to O365Eh.com. This is our first podcast that we're showcasing, and our first topic today is going to be calling plan preview that's coming to Canada. So maybe Mike, do you want to kick us off with what your thoughts are about that?
Yeah, I probably have one of the unique perspectives because I work for a telco here in Canada that's been delivering SIP trunking since OCS, Link 2010, 2013, Skype for Business Online for the last year and a half. The announcement of preview starting, registration for preview starting this month is a welcome message. We've been waiting for that since probably December 2015. It's an exciting announcement where we're kind of one of the select few that get to enjoy telephony right from Microsoft in the cloud.
Awesome. I guess maybe Dino, what do you think is, the reason, I guess, that we were held back so long, and what it means to your customers too?
Yeah, I think the CRTC probably had a lot to do with that, and as you know, each country's, got its own set of legislation and different tax implications in terms of how telephony is built out. So I think Microsoft had their hands full there in trying to establish that. So obviously the announcement of the preview means they've gotten beyond that and they're ready to start selling it. So for sure, welcome news for many people. I know that there's at least a lot of customers I'm talking with have been kind of patiently and some impatiently waiting for the service to come out because they're waiting to take that next step to the cloud, but kind of haven't been able to do it because of the fact that there was no telephony there. And there is, they could go the option of doing some Skype on-prem, maybe using CCE, but I think a lot of them were just looking to not deploy anything and just do 100% in the cloud. So from my perspective, I think we're going to see a lot more movement in the space and in terms of customers, taking that next step.
Then Kurt, what do you think with regards to, I guess maybe from your line of work, how it sort of, I guess comes at you from your side?
One of the interesting things I think is this is the first calling plan preview released in Teams as well as Skype for Business. So if I understand it correctly, you'll be able to use this Canada calling plan in Teams as well as Skype for Business. So you'll be able to use the same dial plans, normalization rules, and that's really interesting. And it's exciting for for people consuming Teams and Skype for Business. In the Canadian area codes, we can now get direct inward dial numbers, as they like to say, DIDs for anywhere in Canada.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. I have a few. I'm based out of Ottawa, so there's more on the government side of things. So I definitely have a lot of the smaller crown corps that are sort of asking about this versus from a federal perspective. So just trying to get them into changing their thought process to going into the clouds, and what does it mean for the rest of I guess their entities and everybody else that works there. But it's interesting enough that I was looking at the sign up page. So if you have the existing, they're looking, I guess, for
50 users or so.
Yeah. With regards to that, and then you have to have the E5 plan already available on your plan. But I think if you're a certain amount, maybe what they're saying is that they'll add that, I guess, E5 plan to you, right? So I guess, Mike, you primarily work with a lot of people that have that kind of license that's assigned to them.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we've been pitching, obviously the E3 SKU with the phone system add-on. Obviously, the calling plan will now be an add-on on top of that. E5, you're going to get both of those functionality. I mean, obviously, the audio conferencing is an additional add-on for E3. But you can tie those add-ons right to, a Skype for Business Online plan too. You just also need to have an exchange plan to have voicemail. But yeah, I'm wondering how this preview is going to work. If maybe they're going to start lighting up the first tenants beginning of February. Are they going to actually do that 90-day typical Microsoft bake-in period for select few? Are they going to use Enterprise Connect in March to kind of just pull the plug and say full GA? It'll be exciting how they tackle progressing through the pilot or the preview program.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they allow customers to say port numbers over.
Yeah.
So say if this could be like I've got mature customers that are using Enterprise Voice and Skype for Business on-prem. And, one scenario might be, for say spin up a 50 user pilot group and actually port their numbers over, and let them, be fully immersed in the online experience.
If you look at the portal today, just even grabbing the service numbers, you can see that they're lighting up more and more locals all over the provinces. So even 4 months ago, there wasn't as many you can source. So it'll be interesting to see what their footprint's going to be across Canada to source numbers. Obviously, porting regions, that'll be interesting as well. But
yeah, Michael, that's a good question. What's their coverage now for cities in various provinces?
I've noticed that it's increased, but I'm not sure.
It's the major ones, right? Like
it's definitely the major
Ottawa,
centers.
Toronto, Edmonton, I think Calgary, there's Vancouver ones, there's the ones out west. Like, so I got a bunch that I captured when I got my conferencing license. So yeah, I think you're allowed up to, maybe 5 or 6 different numbers you can assign that are dedicated to you. And those were generally the ones that sort of I picked. I picked ones that were across the country. So I think they're going to be sort of lighting in. I think maybe those to start wherever the conferencing capabilities are.
Even today I was looking under Alberta and there was a good 6 to 10 locations. So I think they're lighting them up pretty quickly.
Yeah. One of the really interesting things with the people I've worked with that I see this is going to really enable them to use Skype for Business and Teams calling is you have a lot of multinational organizations that are based in the U.S. and have satellite Canadian offices, and the Canadian offices were always sort of handicapped. They couldn't get the PSTN services. So I think for a lot of companies that span the border, that this is going to be a big win for them.
Yeah, I was on one of the user group chats a couple of weeks ago, and I was just asking other system integrators around the world what is their push towards Cloud Connector versus PSTN calling plans in their local regions, say the UK and the US, and they're saying that there is that certain price point where it doesn't make sense to source the telephony from Microsoft. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays in the Canadian market. If what is that sweet spot for Microsoft? Is it the lower end? Is it using an EA to get the higher end? But yeah, there's still going to be that mid market that's kind of ripe for the taking. And maybe I should put the Seamus plug in there and point to where I work. But there is going to be. I still think there's a huge market for the system integrators and the other telcos to tackle where maybe Microsoft's not focusing on.
Yeah, no, I agree in that. And also like with, maybe what's coming with Teams, not just from a calling plan preview, but, there's the discussion of, having your SIP trunking provider connect directly there to provide your telephony from that perspective. So that's just adding to your point as well. So.
Yeah. And Michael mentioned lower end. Another sort of demographic this will serve well, of course, is the small business in Canada that's just jumping in Office 365. They need a total solution. They'll, once this is GA, be able to get their phone services in the same package as their Office 365 services, which will be really efficient for them.
Well, yeah, I
I
mean,
think-
you have to think about the business sizes in Canada compared to the U.S., right? Like our large enterprises are their like small business, so it'll be interesting to see how Microsoft plays the dollar per user per month, because it's probably just going to be the U.S. exchange rate to Canadian. It'll be interesting.
Awesome. So, okay. I guess, that's going to be it for our call today. And stay tuned for the next one. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Bye.
See ya.